Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. Today, it's Gary Grigsby's War in the East 2. I was going to say Admiral's Edition, but it's General's Edition, I guess. Speaking of which, I saw online. If you haven't been there, there's a good Facebook group for War in the East 2. And I saw a post there that there's a brand new, huge update for War in the East 2 today. Um, my understanding is one of the big changes comes with German panzer divisions, and that there's going to be less of Soviet infantry being able to destroy multiple panzers in engagements. They're billing it as a major update, so I don't know. We're still playing the original base game that I got right at the start. So I don't really know all the changes. I haven't read all of the change logs. I'll do that when this game is over, and then we'll update for when we play the next game. Of course, I always want to be playing the latest edition when I can. Now this game got started, before the game was even released. So here we are. I don't really know the change. I just know what I've read, and I've read that they've maybe the German Panzer divisions suffer a little less against Soviet infantry. Okay, maybe. I think there's been a few, well, I say a few other, I think there's been a lot of other changes, not changing the core of the game, but they wanted to make it a little more like War in the East 1. For instance, operational losses on air uh, missions or sorties, I think, have been lessened down. I think they're trying to work on the air war a little bit. So, anyway, just so you know, there is a new update for this game, and they're billing it as a major update. And we'll play this game several times, so we'll have that update the next game that we go around, and I'll read through the change logs and we'll talk about the differences. Hello, everyone. It is Saturday. I've got my lucky Liverpool hat on. The boys from Liverpool, the Egyptian prince Mohamed Salah, uh, took it to Watford today. I was up a little early watching that one, but now it's time to get into warfare. Hello, James Norton. How are you? Hi, John Saxon. Battling Geezer's here. Thanks for the kind words, Geezer. I really appreciated that. David Bartello is here. John, I always like when you're on here. Now, John, I always take you as a realist. John checks me quite often in the comments and says, "Hey, why the hell did you do that?" I always appreciate that, John. Yeah, we're so far out of touch on the old patch. That is true. I mean, what are we, 15 updates behind or something like that? Uh, Steven, don't leave now. The fun's just about to start. Hey, Jan, how you doing? Lucas is here. Okay. Truth Hurts is here. McCall is here. I think I already said David Bartello, but I'm going to say it again. Hi, Salty Dodger. How are you? Peter Kloss, Keith, Nord. I've been perusing. Well, no, I was looking at the Facebook group. That one that Ole Rasmussen, Ole started a great Facebook group for War in the East too, and it just came up on my timeline that said that there was a major new update. So I actually haven't been looking at the Matrix forums hardly at all. I'm too busy playing these games. I took on that War in the Pacific game, and when you do that, you're spending 2 hours of your life every day playing that one, trying to get turns back. But anyway, I'm actually going to change something up this time, but we'll talk about it as we get into it. When I left you last time, um, we were kind of up here around Chernigov. Now, we hadn't really looked that closely at the map to the south here. We had moved the Hungarians up. The Hungarians are coming up to form kind of a secondary line or a line down the Pripyat or Dnieper, or I'm sorry, the Desna or the Dnieper. Well, I guess we've got three choices of river here that the Hungarians will eventually hunker down on for the winter. I'm going to have the Hungarians go guard from Gomel to Kiev, and that'll allow me to get two more German corps out at least. One we're going to send to the north, one we're going to send to the south, but we'll get into that as we get along here. Um, so we had moved the Hungarians up. We had gone through kind of the gold. These are kind of our free agent corps. They're not attached to any army. They're going straight back to Army Group Center, I think, in most cases. And so they're in the rain. They're out here. They're trying to push to Chernigov. These guys here, anyway, are trying to push to Chernigov. These guys here are trying to at least get to the Dnieper. I'd love to get to the Desna. It just kind of depends how much we can push with Second Army. The number one priority is get Gomel this time. We've obviously already got Kiev. Everything in the middle, it's gonna be a patchwork of what we've got going on there. But let's go. Let's see if we start off with the bug. Nope, we can see where we can move. Now this unit can't move. We could try to attack into here, but I think we already tried that once because you can see the delay points there. So I don't think I'm going to try that again, but I am going to try to get this unit across the Pripyat, and we've now done that. I guess I'll just stack this. Actually, I'm going to stack it with him. I think he's a little safer across the river here. So I'll put the headquarters there. These guys, you can tell we tried to attack here, but I'm going to move that across the river. They should have zone of control. Now, this is a Soviet tank corps. Okay, so he's got a full corps here. Not the best place to have your tank corps out here in the swamp, in the rain, by a river. I don't know, but we're gonna go around it here across the river and try to push out to here at the very least. You can see he's got another tank corps back here. But one thing that I was noticing when I looked over the map here is, we tried to break down the river here and get around behind these units. They said, oh, okay, we'll just go around here and push towards Kiev. Now, if you think about how an AI is going to be programmed, we're not playing a human, we're just playing the men in the machine. When you think about that, how is it going to be programmed? Well, these guys are programmed to go towards Kiev, right? I mean, they're going to try to get these. Kiev probably has a big red flag on it for the AI, so they're going to try to push up this way. And indeed, they've done that. They've actually knocked us back a little bit. And I think we're going to have to take at least one division from this corps up here to come down and help, because we've gotten stuck back here a little bit, and the problem is they just can't move very far. They can go one hex. Now I do think we can start moving back towards the line this way and maybe get something trapped, but he's got four tank cores. Is it five? Five tank cores here. That's a lot of firepower. Now, the Soviet tank cores aren't that great yet. They will be much better in 1943, but nevertheless, they're strong units, and so we've got to try to counteract it somehow. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, I think this unit's only got 5,500 men. This one's got 13,000. I assume that's why I've got them double stacked. This guy actually probably should just get out of the way. We've also got another unit here with like 8,100. Eh, it's not great. It's something. We've got units here that we don't necessarily need both of them here. And so this has to stay. I would like this one to stay. This unit is the one I was thinking about moving, but what all does he have here? He's got two rifle cores there. I mean, that's a lot of strength. I've rethought that now. Let's double stack there, and we'll put the headquarters there too, because that's a lot. I mean, that's got to be like 35,000 men at least. Big coffee today. We'll actually take the weaker of the units, and I'm just going to move it down here for now, just to help try to protect Kiev a little bit. Um, it's not going to do a whole lot, but it's going to stand in the way if he gets through here. Now, this unit is really chewed up, and we're going to have to shift a little bit back to the north here. These guys, I think what I'll do is probably... It's the best way to go about this. He can only go back here. He can go there. He could have tried to attack here. Now, this is one of our stronger units here. We can also move this up Tell you what, I'm going to double stack right there against these two tank cores. Now, this is not going to do anything. I'm going to move this around. A Hungarian armor. Okay. I mean, we've got a Hungarians on the way here that could potentially help a little, but I don't want to get carried away with that. I think instead of allowing these guys to just get mauled, I'm going to try to double stack them where I can. So I'm going to put that there, and he's a strong unit. And now we shouldn't get isolated here. He's going to probably attack into this unit or into this unit, but we're double stacked where I was worried anyway. And then I think what I'll do is move this guy up and kind of scoot these guys around just a little. Now we're going to have a little gap here. We've got two small rivers there, so hopefully that'll at the very least slow them down. Um, he would be out of command. He's still out of command there. I may have to bring this. I mean, the best place to have it is right here. I'm afraid he's going to get knocked out, but I'm going to put him there anyway. Okay. Now, part of the reason I could scoot just slightly north is we've got a lot of units bunched down here. That was all part of when we were bringing these over. They all kind of got a little out of sorts. So I'm going to take this unit and put it behind this river. Now, there's two more tank cores that the Soviets have out here. So they've just got tank cores everywhere. I'm going to put that unit there. It's the strongest one that we have in this batch. So now we're every other, okay? And with these guys, he's got full movement points and he doesn't really need to go anywhere. I'm going to attack right there with those two and we route that out. 1549 on the fly out, 42 guns go away. And now we can start scooting these guys a little bit and spreading them out. And also, it will free this up that we could even move one of these guys up here eventually. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. All right, so let's move you there, and we'll move this around here. And now these two units, okay, let's see if we have any movement points left. Now, if he moves up there, it's got 4 left. I'm just going to leave him right there. We've got 5 with him, 4 with him. Okay, now we can start moving these guys around. And yes, I have heard the criticism. Sometimes I'm so worried about getting every other hex that I'm not taking attacks of opportunity. I understand what you're saying, but I'm going to do something different this turn. And that's why I'm okay doing that here, because I'm going to actually do something that may be a bit controversial. We'll see. All right, let's move around. Keep moving around and freeing up a lot of these units. Now, how far can he go? He can't go far. So I'm going to actually put him there, and I'm going to take this. He's part of this group. Okay. He's part of this group. I want him to go there. We're going to isolate that tank core. All right, so he should be totally isolated out. I'm going to scoot this guy. Am I? Maybe I'm not. Hold on. This guy can come around to here. So I think now I've got them pretty well lined up to where I want them. I'm going to keep scooting these guys over because we need to get more troops up into this area. So he's over here. I think I've scooted most of these as much as I can. I mean, you can go down here, but they're going across the bug and it's eating up movement points. Now I think we've pretty much got this isolated. I could move this back one. He's not in. Okay, now we've got him isolated out, I think, pretty well. Let's make sure. All right, he's going all the way back here to Army Group A. Oh, this is 6th Army. I was like, what? Okay, 11th Army has got 40 of 45. 6th Army has got 43 of 45. Let's just make sure it makes sense where we've got these guys, got our cores going to. All right, there, Yeah, that all lines up. I think all of these are in command to back to 11th Army. This one's probably close. 12 of 15. Okay, that works. And then we've got 6th Army here. Oh, I see. I looked at this at the end of last episode and I said something's not right. And it's this corps. This corps needs to be going to 11th Army. But I think, did I already flip this one over this time? I don't know. Let's see. No, I didn't. Okay. Let's put that in 11th Army. So he's actually in command directly back to 11th Army. And if we look at 11th now, he's got this corps, this corps, this corps, this corps, and this one. Perfect. But now he's a little over 52 of 45. So when we get down here, this one should actually, I think, go back to 6th, but I think this is the one I already moved into 11th, so we'll have to fix that next time. These guys will have to go into 6th Army. That is, motoring around this way. Let's go ahead, actually. Now, if that's going to go in there, though, he really needs to stay in this area. Let's just back him behind the river, just so nothing that breaks through dislocates 6th Army. Okay, now as we get up here, a couple of these guys could start to shift around as well. I think what we'll do, now he's in a level 1 fort, but I'm going to back him up, and I'm also going to take the Arab Special. Now, I didn't realize the Arab Special was so weak. I mean, 873 men isn't going to do a whole lot. So, what can we do with that really? Well, with a unit like that, it's all about just, taking hexes, gathering hexes, blocking things off. So I'm actually just going to move him up here uh, just to take back some of these hexes and block this. Now, we're going to try to deal with this in another way as well, but I'm going to move him up here for now. Now, he's going all the way back to OKH, so we got to get some command for that. So he's there. We're going to put this light division there. We're going to put that there. And then we can scoot this up and around, or we can start trying to. So we'll put that there. Now, this is a division, it's at half strength, that probably needs to be stacked with something else. So we're going to do that. Let's put that there. And let's stack it with this unit, which is very weak. And then we can take this, move it here, still with 8 movement points. Here's its core. Oh, the core got dislocated last time. Okay, got it. He's now 18 of 15, so I think we are going to have to scoot 6th Army around. So I don't know what to do with this core here. What he's closest to is 11th Army, but that puts 11th Army way over. So we're going to have to figure out these cores a little differently at some point. Okay, now he's only 10 of 15 out. This is good. He's with his guys. Let's just stack that there behind the river. Privy Rogue. We've got the FBD here that can get to working on rail soon, I hope. He backed up. We've got 2 cores there, so they've got some strength there, certainly. This is a really weak unit. It's just the 128th Jaeger. As a matter of fact, I hate to have this just sitting out here. We've got tank corps, 2 infantry corps. We're going to have to keep scooting next turn. Now, hopefully he can just hold this area for a turn, and then we'll scoot it around and double stack him with somebody. This unit, though, I think we're going to take both of these guys and try to nutcracker here. All right, and we knocked that back, so that's good. He only had 4,600 men out here, 15, 44, 21, and 7. Now he can back up one. He's only got 6,400 men, so it's not particularly strong. He can't go anywhere else. Arab Special needs to go with someone. I actually think I'm going to put it behind this river here just as a movement point play. We've got about 10,000 men here. Okay. I want to do something else with them. Let's take the 2 groups, and we've only got about 15,000 men in D-Town. Let's take these 2, this division, and let's try to nutcracker and hope they go backwards. And they do. Thank goodness. We needed that to happen. 37-43, 96 on the guns. We lost 130 men. That works. We'll take that. We are starting to lose more aircraft, by the way. I think the Soviets are getting better aircraft on the field. If we Z this and look at defensiveness, we got a 39 here, but he's largely left this area to come up here. So I think we can hold that for a moment. But let's take this division here. I know it's worn down, but let's try to knock this back across the river with these two divisions. And we do it. Excellent. 1571 on the loss. We only lost 94 men. That works. Uh, I'm going to keep him there. I'm going to keep this double stack here. I think we'll just keep this as is for now. It's not ideal, but we're going to do something different here in a minute. From this point on, I think I'm going to work backwards. I just think it makes more sense. So let's get out here and look at the Romanians that are pushing on Krasnodar. Now, that may be overstating it. Are the Romanians pushing? Well, they're just kind of moving. They've got a lot of open space here to here. We've got well, we'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to do something and people are going to yell. I already know that. We're going to have to attack because the dreaded bug has shown up. It's not showing me movement again. Where could we attack? I don't think there's any place back here I wanted to attack at all. I think we did most of that. No. There's got to be a place down here where I can attack to free us from the bug. As you can see, when I click on this, it doesn't allow me to move anymore. I can only attack. It's just a bug that's shown up recently. I don't know. Why don't we try to attack right here and get this to surrender? Let's see if we can get these to start surrendering out here. Let's hit that. It does surrender. Okay. 8,200 men, 116 guns, 13 planes he loses. We lost 8. These are getting a lot more even now on the plane losses, but we get a surrender there, and now hopefully we can move again. All right, back out. Yeah, now you can see where we can move to. All right, I'm going to spread the wings of the Romanians a little bit here. Let's put that guy there. Let's move. Oh, he can move around up to here. I like that. Let's try to get in good terrain. As you can see, we're getting out of the Kuban swamp. I have no idea. Does he have something in Krasnodar? Probably. But let's try to move up and around his forces where we can, and then where we have our stronger Romanians. Now they're getting in some weird supply situations. We don't really have a port up here. Um, It'd be nice if there was like a port here and we could start getting supply over this way. Even if we had these ports, the supply would have to go over the mountains. So, it's getting to be a weird supply situation, but I'm not sure there's a whole lot we can do about it. I'm just going to keep pushing them. Let's just keep scooting these guys around. Ooh, you know what? I'm actually going to take this division. I'm just going to come down here and okay, well, he does have something there. That could end up being deadly for those guys, but, well, we're giving it a shot. All right, let's move these guys up. Now we have our two strongest divisions. The 3rd Romanian mountain is sitting right here at the base of the mountains. And then we've got the 19th, which is actually a really strong division. Then we have another or two more back here that we could move up into this hex. So let's do that. Let's move these two infantry up there. We can't allow this neck to get cut off, so we got to be careful. Let's move this. Wow, he can get around here a little ways. We can't allow him to get into this hex though, so let's just move that forward. So we've got our strongest divisions right here. We've got our more, not so strong divisions up that way. Let's put it that way. Okay, let's move this division up here with the mountain division. If we go to defensiveness now, we see 16. I'm actually surprised that's not stronger. 36, 17. Okay, well, any bit of Romanian strength, yeah, Romanian strength that we've got is right there. Um, this headquarters can move around the way here, I hope. Now, these guys are quite weak. You can see that 1 and 1, 1 and 1, but hey, we're doing what we can. All right, the Italians are going to have to come help in the mountains. As a matter of fact, man, I'd love it if the Italians could get down in this area, but okay, I would love a lot of things in this game. We'll see. Now those guys are all out of command. Oh, this guy got pushed all the way down here. All right, let's get him on the road and get him moving back up there to try to get these back in command. We've already moved the Italians. We've got one regiment back here, regiment size. That's fine. All right, with these Romanians now, I'm just going to push forward. I don't think these guys are strong enough to take this out yet. And he had a depot. Did you see that ghost move? He just moved from here to here. Weird. That's got to be a bug. He was in that hex and he moved up here. Anyway, sometimes when you have these units isolated, you've got to take the depots because the depots have enough stored up to keep them in supply for a couple of turns. So we move into this depot. He ghost moves up here. Okay, let's get off defensiveness and move it and look at move points. I'm also going to scoot. We could try to attack right here. I just these Romanian units are so weak. I'm not going to. I'm going to give it another turn. We've got time with the Romanians to allow these to weaken more and more and more. They're still isolated. They're not going anywhere. So I'm just going to leave them as is right there. I could move this cavalry though, or I could move these Romanians about. I think I'll actually do that. Let's move him around there. We'll just put him there. He's probably good there. They're every other hex then. I could move this over here, or I could move it up here. I think getting rid of this as fast as we can is advisable. I'm also going to take. Oh, I had one other unit. That's right. Okay, I'm going to take this guy. I'll just put him up, I don't know, there. All right. So now, I mean, these guys are as surrounded as you can get. And then I'll take the cavalry up this way. We could try to hit here. Let's give it a shot, see if we can get a surrender. Nope, he just retreats. He lost 6,400 men, though. And now let's take this Romanian cavalry, and now he surrenders. So he ended up losing like 10,000 men there total. We've still got this cavalry, but that's a double stack. I think I'm just going to leave that alone. Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave this as is now. And next turn, we'll try yet again. Oh, this guy did want to move around to like here, just if he got any kind of idea of heading towards Z Town. All right, so surrounded there, surrounded here. They're not going anywhere, or at least we hope not. Um, we did move out of this. Oh, let's move this headquarters. We'll just put that in town. Oh, actually, let's move it around to here. Okay. He's got no way of getting to this port, so we should be fine there. And we'll hopefully clean all of this up next time. I feel after a third turn of them being isolated, I think it's 3 turns, maybe 4. Uh, it could be Paul. Paul brings up a good point. Could it be that there was a hidden unit already in that hex, and the morale of the ghost unit was so bad well, I don't think it can automatically move, but it potentially surrendered. Uh, yeah. Hey, Pooch, what's up? Um, yeah, the neck over the swamp. I'm not. Uh, I'm not happy with that either, but whatever. I mean, I don't know. I look. This is completely exploratory. I'm gonna bring the Italians up here to try to add a little strength to it. it was basically Plan C to try to get to Krasnodar. Look, if he's got nothing out here, we could potentially get there next turn, but he's certainly got something there. So, that's not going to work. That brings me to my next point, which is we're no longer going to go for Rostov. And I know I'll hear the howls about that. Why is that? Or why am I deciding that? It doesn't make it right, but we're getting way too overextended here into a very strong defensive area. The Soviets have brought a lot of strength down this way. What I'm afraid of, we're going to get strung out here, and then he's just going to start picking off panzers like crazy. All right. I don't actually think we can take Rostov in 2 turns anyway. And let me just back up and say big picture. I'm trying to hold the initiative for 2 reasons. One is I just want to continue with the initiative because I want to win this game in sudden death. And two is, in less of a consideration, I know a lot of people don't want to watch this all the way. If we get to 1943 and it becomes obvious we're going to win,